Hi there, it's day 18, it's Thursday of your Detox and Reset, and just in case you've come across this video on YouTube and you don't know what I'm talking about, just click on the link below the video and that will take you to the page on my website where you'll find everything, all the information about this 31-day program called the Paleo Reset 31, which is all about recalibrating metabolism and inflammation and stress. And in fact, today we're sort of going into this, so that we can really integrate and assimilate the ways in which a diet that's high in carbohydrates is sort of promoting fat storage and promoting pain and inflammation levels and stress, and why we want to be, really doing our best to go through this metabolic shift from sugar burner to fat burner. Okay, so let's get into it. So yes, now you're starting to understand how you're starting to understand and feel how excessive carbohydrates affect our health and how sugars and grains and legumes promote inflammation. So at this point, your metabolism is really doing, the shift. It's really shifting gears from sugar burner to fat burner. And this weekend, we're going to explore how your body is adapting through a really easy intermittent fast. Don't be scared. It is really easy. And yes, so we're looking at this reality with regards to our health. If we want to maintain our weight, reduce inflammation and manage stress, then being in the metabolic state of the fat burner is essential. Okay, once we're in the metabolic state of fat burner, then we can sort of like slip out of it every now and again. I think this is what Mark Season refers to as metabolic. Can't remember what he calls it. He has a term for it. But yeah, it's sort of like, we can shift in and out of it, but we have to switch gears because otherwise we're trapped. Okay. So let's have a look at this. From sugar burner to fat burner. Now, Homo sapiens is programmed to burn healthy fats. Right? Our bodies have a fantastic capacity to store fat and then access it again for energy. And if this weren't part of our DNA, our species would never have survived the times when food was limited or during periods of famine. The problem is that today our mechanisms for accessing stored energy have been disrupted by a continuous consumption of food, the prevalence of simple carbohydrates, high insulin production, as well as a lifestyle that promotes excessive cortisol production. And so as a result of all of this, the worldwide rates of heart disease and diabetes and autoimmune diseases and food intolerances and allergies continue to rise. But within a month of following a diet that is high in healthy fats and low in carbohydrates, with that moderate consumption of protein, which is just right for us, everything changes for the better, right? You lose weight, your blood sugar levels stabilize, inflammation levels decrease, stress reduces, and all of these factors instigate a chain reaction of long-term health benefits. Okay, what about the carb flu, right? So yes, you might be experiencing unpleasurable situations with your health at the moment. It could be the carb flu. It's really common. I experienced it, and most people do experience a bit of carb flu. The transition from sugar burner to fat burner might be a bit unpleasant. Yeah, most people go through a period of carb flu, experiencing symptoms such as fatigue and irritability. I remember a couple of days when I couldn't get off the couch from the fatigue. But it's worth it. It only lasts a couple of days, and after that, this is true, after that you'll have more energy than you've had for a long time. You'll feel renewed. And I remember Fiorenzo saying this to me, just after, at around this point, he said, "Oh my God, I've never seen you with so much energy." Yeah, so yeah, you will experience that. But the question, aren't dietary fats, especially saturated fats, aren't they bad for our health? Because we've all been told that all fat is bad, when in fact there are huge differences between the different fat families. Now we're going to go into the details about this next week, but I can reassure you, now that eating healthy fats doesn't result in excess weight. Eating cholesterol doesn't cause high blood pressure, high blood cholesterol. Healthy fat and cholesterol aren't bad for us. We need them. And in fact, most health problems are caused by chronic systemic inflammation, which is often silent and invisible until everything explodes. So, as we've seen, as we know now, causes of chronic systemic inflammation include a constant excess of carbohydrates, sugars, and alcohol, a hyperpermeable intestine, known as leaky gut, an unbalanced level of omega-6 and omega-3, we'll be looking at this a little bit further ahead, and as well as an excess production of cortisol. So, the good news is that if we do we're still looking at the sugar burner, okay? We're still looking at what goes on when we're a sugar burner. Being a sugar burner means when blood glucose is high, the pancreas produces insulin to remove it. Excess glucose is stored in the liver and the muscles in the form of glycogen. Remember this from the first week. When the liver and muscles are full, the excess turns into adipose tissue, which is fat. Right? Now, insulin resistance causes the pancreas to produce more and more insulin. Resistance to leptin, the appetite hormone, causes continuous hunger. When insulin is high, the pancreas can't release the hormone glycagon, which accesses our stored fat, right? Literally, it means that the body can't burn fat. So, when insulin removes the glucose, it causes blood sugar levels to drop low, and the body brain then thinks that it's dying from lack of energy and lack of nutrients. So the body brain manipulates you to eat because you're dying, right? Only carbohydrates can satisfy the craving because the body can't burn your stored fat. So, the carbohydrates, which we've just consumed, raise the blood glucose again, causing the production of insulin again, which removes glucose from the blood again, which leaves the body brain without energy again. Right? And all of this is interpreted by the body brain as a high state of stress. And so the body releases the hormone cortisol to deal with the stress. Cortisol, which we'll see further on, actually causes fat storage, and consequently high blood pressure, high triglycerides, chronic systemic inflammation, etc., etc. Okay, so you can see how being trapped in the sugar burner cycle is bad news. Okay, so again we've got the graphic there, and yeah, we want to shift gears. We absolutely want to shift gears if we want to live a long and healthy life. So, the good news, what to expect when you're a fat burner. Being a fat burner means you'll feel full for longer. You won't need to eat every 2 hours. You'll have no cravings, no irritability, and no brain fog. Blah! No brain fog, that's my brain fog. No brain fog. No? Your body will continue to burn carbohydrates for high intensity activities such as sprinting and strength training and activities that make your heart race and break out in a sweat. Your body will burn fat for all of the low intensity situations that make up most of the day, right? So when you're walking and when you're doing housework and when you're doing gardening and when you're playing and when you're cooking and seriously, when you're sleeping, your body will be burning fat for the energy. You'll be able to skip meals. Yeah, you'll be able to skip meals whenever you want without anxiety or depression because your body will just, switch into burning stored fat. And your full circle health will be optimized because you'll be avoiding the interconnected range of problems caused by excess carbohydrates, sugars, and alcohol. Okay? And so, the added bonus, as you can see from all of the before and after photos that I've posted here and that you'll find on social media, is that fat burners look good naked with very little effort. So that's the added bonus. So yeah, so you can see how it's really worthwhile, doing this and just getting over the bridge. And once you're over the other side, everything is smooth flowing. In the section of eat, really good tip here is to always have healthy fats on hand. So there's a photo there of some good healthy fats: avocado, salmon, nuts and seeds and olive oil. Yes, that's a good example. And there's a list here, right? So there's a list here of the best forms of fat that we can have: monounsaturated, saturated, and omega-3. We do go into this further on, but we can just read through here really quickly. Macadamia nuts, avocado, olives, homemade mayonnaise, which you can just put on everything. Good forms of saturated fats, coconut in all forms, bacon. Even bacon that's even fried and cold with avocado is fantastic. Butter, clarified butter, eggs. Great sources of omega-3, sardines and mackerel and salmon, and eggs from free-range hens. And good sources of healthy fats in moderation are nuts in general and seeds, and dark chocolate. Dark chocolate always with a minimum 85% cacao. Okay, so that's sort of it for today. Your movement recommendation today is to just move frequently, not remain seated for long, go out for walks and, just do a little bit of movement, but, don't push, just move so you're not remaining seated too often. Motivation exercise for your journaling, just to stay connected to the process. This is interesting. Think about your childhood and early development. What did you learn about food from your parents and from your family? Was food associated with certain emotions and behaviors? Did your upbringing contribute to your current relationship with food in a positive or a negative way? Yeah, so that's a bit of reflection there. And yeah, that's it. So get in touch with me if you need to, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.